But first, a report on the Unnao case. 23 years old, raped by two men last year and burnt outside her village in UP's Unnao 2 days ago by the same men with 3 others as she was on her way to court. On Friday night, the young woman who was airlifted to Delhi finally lost her life. She had fought on for 36 hours despite 90% burns. And as politicians and ministers line up to meet the family of the woman, her father says that he wants the culprits hanged in a week or a Hyderabad-type shooting.
Anger and political protests as UP ministers visited the Unnao home of the 23-year-old woman who died this morning at Delhi's Safdarjung Hospital after being set on fire by 5 men on Thursday, 2 of whom allegedly raped her last December. She had 90% burns. The woman's distraught father says he has just one hope: swift action against the accused.
हाँ, हमारा यही कहना है कि जो कि हैदराबाद में कांड हुआ उसी तरह से जैसे कि वहाँ 7 दिन में फैसला हुआ, वैसे हम भी सोचते हैं कि 1 हफ्ते के अंदर में या तो इनकी फांसी की जाए या इनको जो है काउंटर किया जाए।
पूरे देश से हमारी बस यही मांग है कि मेरी बहन इस दुनिया में नहीं है तो मुलजिम ये 5 के नाम इस दुनिया में नहीं रहना चाहिए। बस
कल जिस तरह देखने को मिला कि इनकाउंटर कर दिया पुलिस ने, तो क्या
वो एनकाउंटर हो
कानूनी प्रक्रिया
जैसे भी हो, बशर्ते नाम नहीं रहना चाहिए इस दुनिया में।
One can only see the irony in a situation where a swarm of policemen are now at the residence of this 23-year-old woman, the same police that allegedly refused to help this woman when she was trying to pursue her rape case. The family of the woman say the girl was raped in December 2018, allegedly by the son of the local village head and his relative. But the local police filed an FIR only a full 4 months later, in March 2019. This too after the intervention of a court.
जी कह रहे थे कि हमारे सोच लीजिए कि जो कि हमारे जेब में जो है विधायक हैं, थाना जेब में पड़ा है, जहाँ जाते रहे तहाँ पर 1,50,000 फूंक ताप दें तो वहाँ का पुलिस सुने। अब पूरी सरकार का अब लड़की मर गए हैं, अब हिम्मा का है जो सरकार का करे कोई, हमारा तो कहे मतलब यही है कि जो कि इन लोगों को फांसी दी जाए। लेकिन अब जो है अब फांसी दें और चाहे भी हम को मरवा दें।
With growing outrage over the woman's death, the politicians stepped in. Samajwadi Party chief Akhilesh Yadav sat on a dharna in Lucknow. Bahujan Samaj Party chief Mayawati met the governor over women's security. Priyanka Gandhi of the Congress, in your frame right now, is among the first politicians to have come here to meet with the family of this woman. But the story perhaps is beyond the politicians. The story is about ensuring justice for this family. The story is about the Yogi Adityanath government ensuring that this case goes to a fast-track court and can see a trial, perhaps by the end of this month. Chief Minister Adityanath sent his ministers, announced 25 lakh rupees as compensation and promised the case would be sent to a fast-track court. But accompanying his ministers was this man, local BJP MP Sakshi Maharaj. One of those visiting the family of the 23-year-old woman today is Sakshi Maharaj. Sakshi Maharaj is the BJP MP from Unnao. He is the same person who has no qualms about going to visit an expelled BJP MLA accused of rape in prison. He comes out of there and says that, so what if my party has expelled him? I still have no issues in meeting him. This is the same person who was talking about the death penalty for rapists on a day when he was wishing happy birthday to Kuldeep Singh Sengar on social media, on Twitter. आप कुलदीप सेंगर के साथ जेल जा सकते हैं, उनसे मिलने, उनको हैप्पी बर्थडे कह सकते हैं, तो यहाँ आके आप ये डबल स्टैंडर्ड नहीं है। साक्षी महाराज जी, ये डबल स्टैंडर्ड नहीं है कि आप यहाँ आए हैं। साक्षी महाराज जी, despite the UP government's claims, will there be any justice for the Unnao family? With Gaurav Sharma, Rajesh Gupta and Vineet Kumar in Unnao, this is Alok Pandey, NDTV.
So on Left, Right and Centre to talk more about the case and where the system failed this woman, we're joined by Pankaj Chaudhary, former IPS officer. Arpita Datta, Secretary NSUI. Also with us, Pragya Bhushan, advocate and social activist, and Arfa Khanam, a senior editor with The Wire. Well, I'd like to go across first to you, Mr. Chaudhary, because it's very clear in this entire case, from the time this woman was raped and she tried to file a complaint with the police, they didn't file the complaint. She actually had to go to the court to file the complaint. And then when her rapist was let out on bail, again, her father suggested that they go to the police to complain, but she clearly didn't have faith, which is why she was going to the court. So again and again, it seems the police have failed this woman.
Exactly. In this incident, very unfortunate for the country. इसको अगर दूसरे तरीके से देखें तो ये आप कह सकते हैं कि रेप की जो घटनाएं हैं, उत्तर प्रदेश हो चाहे देश का अन्य कोई भाग हो, इसकी मानसिकता पे जाना पड़ेगा कि आज हमारे बीच के युवाओं को ये बिल्कुल क्लियर समझ में आ रहा है कि हम कोई घटना इतनी बड़ी अपराध करने के बाद इस सिस्टम से हम बहुत आसानी से निकल सकते हैं। इस सिस्टम में पुलिस भी है, इस सिस्टम में जुडिशियल सिस्टम भी है और तमाम अन्य हमारे जो है स्टेट होल्डर हैं। मेरा ये मानना है कि रेप जैसी घटनाओं को आज के परिप्रेक्ष्य में देखें तो इनके जो परिवार वाले हैं, पीड़ित के परिवार वाले हैं, उनका मानस है कि इस पे कार्रवाई जल्द से जल्द होनी चाहिए। और आज हम लंबे समय का इंतजार ना जनता कर सकती है, ना पीड़ित कर सकता है, ना तो जनमानस कर। इसके लिए फास्ट ट्रैक की बजाय फास्ट ट्रैक की अवधारणा आनी चाहिए और एक टाइम बाउंड डिसीजन होना चाहिए ऐसे रेप के मामलों में, चाहे आप उसमें 3 दिन का समय ले लें, 5 दिन का समय ले लें।
But time bound investigation तभी होगा if the police actually file the rape case. And now you have this situation in which the parents, the father of the woman is saying that he wants these culprits to be hanged within a week, or he suggests shot like the case in Hyderabad. So Pragya Bhushan, isn't this a situation in which people are losing faith in the system?
Actually, Gargi, in fact, due to this delay in justice, we are completely failing as a civilized society. In fact, there was a specific quote by Honorable Justice Mullah of Allahabad High Court in one of his judgment, that there is not even a single lawless group in this whole country which comes even near to the organized group of criminals which is called Indian police. So that is the situation that is quoted by a judge of UP from Honorable High Court of Allahabad, and that has been again quoted by Justice Karju, I think today or yesterday itself. So this is how the judges are claiming that these police are the organized criminals in itself. How they are going to save us from these kind of rapes or criminal activities, I don't understand. And this delay in judiciary, how it is going to save us. At one hand, they are saying that there should not be revengeful event, there should not be revengeful justice. But just give us the justice. Wherein in Nirbhaya's case, the criminals are there in jails for last 7 years. And if you want to change a government in Maharashtra, you can do it overnight. If you want to just revoke the president's rule, you can do it overnight. But for one rapist, there was just change of government, toppling of government in Delhi. But still, there is no justice to that Nirbhaya, and those criminals are enjoying
I'd like
the
to take
jails
this
for
across
last
to
7 years.
Arfa as well. Arfa, today the Chief Justice of India said justice can't be instant. Unfortunately, after the Hyderabad case, it seems the Telangana case, everybody is just talking about this instant justice. So clearly, a complete lack of faith in the system. It's been 7 years since the Nirbhaya case, and the culprits are still in jail.
Of course, Gargi, there is this moment of grief, anguish, and deep concern, not just for women in India, but the entire society. As a society, we are losing the whole, I would say, the Atma of this country, how we are treating our women, and there is a clear trust deficit between criminal justice system and society, and people are clearly losing patience. They don't want to wait. They do not trust the criminal justice system anymore, and that is why these calls for instant justice we can see outside. But I can see there is a clear silver line, that there is this another Nirbhaya moment. After Nirbhaya, what we witnessed was, a lot of people say that nothing changed after Nirbhaya. I would say a lot of social taboos we did away with, like the victims, when they thought that the shame did not belong to the victims, but the rapists. So there were more women who came out, more families who came out and reported about the rape incidents. I was reading it somewhere that in India, this is the government data, in India every day there are 90 cases of rape registered, out of which, this is 2017 data which is available with us. At the end of 2017, there were 1,27,000 cases which were still pending in court, and there were only 18,300 cases which were resolved. So, Gargi, we will also have to look at it as citizens, as Indians. Have we actually made women's safety, gender equality our priority? Have we not told our politicians that they can actually ignore us? The whole half the population of India, look at the politics around NRC, look at the politics around CAB. They are clearly dividing us on the basis of religion, caste, ethnicity, but nobody is demanding women's safety. So I am rather glad that people are out on the streets, even political parties. Opposition is getting some energy out of this, mobilization that we can see society.
When you say this is another Nirbhaya moment, and here we can see visuals coming from the village in Unnao where the woman's body has reached her village after she passed away last night. But yes, Arfa, it's absolutely correct that after 2012, when the uproar over the Nirbhaya case, the kind of sympathy the girl got, and the way everybody spoke about the case, and women came out, people took to the streets, it empowered a lot of women to come forward and share any sort of, action against them. And the story of this Unnao woman is absolutely, tragic, given how she was fighting for justice. When the police didn't give her justice, she went to the court, and that is when the rape case was filed. And then one of her rapists got out on bail, and that is the reason, again, she was going to approach the court. Well, Arpita, we're seeing a lot of politics over this today. You had Priyanka Gandhi Vadra also there in Unnao meeting with the family. We've seen in Lucknow as well. You had Akhilesh Yadav sitting on a protest outside the assembly. But we can't lose this momentum, and that is the point. The politicians, the minute the media, again, us at the media also have to keep at it. But we need to change the system. It can't just be that come in whenever there's a controversy and then forget about it later.
Right. You see, when we talk about rape, people say that we should not politicize it. However, I see that whenever there's a Bollywood movie that objectifies women, people are roaring about it that it should not happen. Because Bollywood cinema influences people. But when it comes to politician, we also need to realize that people actually follow their leaders as well. So, when insensitive remarks from politicians come about rape, about women and safety of them, I think it's highly problematic, because there's also a set of people who blindly follow them, who blindly believe what they say. So, yes, of course, we should not politicize rape, but we should also pay attention to the fact that there are leaders from specific parties, from specific organizations coming out to support such rapists, So I think rape is an issue that should be talked about at all times, but also should be talked very carefully by people like politicians who, the mass generally follows.
All right, so Pragya Bhushan, we just saw, Sakshi Maharaj, the MP from Unnao. He was there in Unnao today. He accompanied two of the ministers. He is somebody who after condemning what happened with when the Unnao victim was set on fire in this particular case, then, hours later, he was actually wishing Kuldeep Sengar a happy birthday. And Kuldeep Sengar, as we all know, is someone who's in jail right now on rape charges. He's been thrown out of the BJP, but earlier as well, Sakshi Maharaj sparked a controversy when he went to actually visit him in jail. So, to come out and support a rape victim, at the same time support a rapist.
Yes, Gagi, actually this is a nationwide problem. Whether it is Sakshi Maharaj, whether it is Home Minister of Telangana, everybody is supporting their vote bank, that's it. And they are least bothered about 49% population of this country. So we women have to stand up and we have to tell them, sorry, we can't wait anymore. This is high time. Whether it is one party, second party, third party or fourth party, we are not going to vote for you. Now only the ones who are not convicted, who are not accused in any such kind of crimes will come to our parliament. Why we are having
in fact, we have many parliamentarians
one third percentage of our parliamentarians who are actually
MPs and MLAs with declared cases related to crimes against women.
And it's currently we who are electing them and selecting them as our leaders. Why should we do that? How can they be our leaders who are themselves accused in such kind of crimes, and then we expect them to save us? How can they save us? We just can't tolerate these people who are sitting in our parliament and they are responsible for making legislatures for us. They are responsible for giving justice to us. How will they give justice when they are themselves accused in such cases? So we have to be very, very clear and we have to be decisive that stop this party politics.
But saying it here during a discussion on a national channel is easy, but we know the reality on the ground. The reason Sakshi Maharaj went to visit Kuldeep Sengar was to thank him for ensuring his victory. And
Gargi, there was one case of Nirbhaya in Delhi and the whole government changed overnight. We can do it nationwide also. We have to be determined because our politicians are not determined about our safety. They are worried about the governments, they are worried about the elections, they are worried about the Maharashtra politics, Karnataka politics, Telangana politics, but they are not worried about the women of India.
Speaking of politics, Arfa, today there's a bit of a controversy over Rahul Gandhi talking about India and Delhi and rape capital, etc. But I remember back in 2013 when our Prime Minister said the very same thing, and he spoke about, Delhi, how sad it is that Delhi has emerged as this rape capital across the world.
No, Gargi, that I will come to this later, but if you look at it from a sociological point of view, look at this way that how this lack of patience and trust in our criminal justice system is also brutalizing our society. I've done a few programs on the same incident, Hyderabad incident, Unnao incident. People were up in arms. They wanted to fight with journalists who are saying that please look at the human rights of those people. How are you so sure that these people who the police did encounter, that they were the real culprits? People are losing patience, and that is why there are calls for capital punishment, even justifying extrajudicial killings. So I'm saying this is ending up brutalizing our society really, really badly. But there is another thing that the Rahul Gandhi statement that you asked.
That eye for an eye, it's appealing to our basis instinct.
That's exactly.
Day before yesterday, when there were celebrations on the road on the encounter of those 4 accused.
All right, I think Arfa wants to complete her point. Yes, go ahead.
Please. Right. So, Gargi, what I was trying to say is that when we talk about rape cases and when we call Delhi the rape capital or call India unsafe for women, I know that we have to create positive noise, we have to amplify our voices, but at the same time, there is a flip side to it. Because we have to see freedom and safety, whether we want safety at the cost of freedom. Let's not forget there are a lot of young women, their parents are going to get paranoid about sending their young girls to school, colleges, universities, and out there to work. So look at it also from this point of view, then when we amplify our voices, we should also be mindful of the fact that we give them enough confidence that this is for their safety, because these cases, when they are discussed on national television, when politicians make it an issue, and all of this is rightly so, we also have to look at it from this point of view that we should not sacrifice our freedom for the sake of safety. So we have to prioritize.
After the Telangana case, that is one of the issues that we heard, that a lot of parents were telling their girls to come back by it. In fact, the police also was issuing advisories saying try to be home by a particular time. But Pankaj Chaudhary, coming back to the police's handling of this case, and because it's a place in Unnao in Uttar Pradesh, it's a rural area, we can't not talk about caste in this entire equation, because time and again the father of the girl has spoken about how the people were very powerful. We do know now that there were upper caste people. This girl and her family belonged to a lower caste, and this also plays a big role in these rural situations when it comes to expecting the police to fight for you or do justice by you when they're listening to the higher caste people, or even the village pradhan apparently had threatened the woman's family.
एग्जैक्टली गार्गी, अगर आप उन्नाव के अलावा पूरे देश में अगर हम देखें तो कास्ट समीकरण जो है वो एक ऐसे बन चुका है कि अपर कास्ट और लोअर कास्ट का जो हम इक्वेशन देखते हैं, ये तो केस आपका रिपोर्टेड है, मीडिया ने इसको कवर किया है, हाई प्रोफाइल मामला बन चुका है, लेकिन ऐसे हजारों केसेस है देश में, चाहे वो राजस्थान की बात कर रहे हैं, हम यूपी की बात कर रहे हैं, बिहार की बात कर रहे हैं, हम साउथ की बात कर रहे हैं, ऐसे तमाम केसेज है जहाँ पे कि केस रिपोर्टेड ही नहीं होते, क्योंकि हमारे समाज में कुछ कास्ट समीकरण ऐसे बने हुए कि अगर कोई सी तरुण जाति का है, अगर उसने अगर किसी बच्ची महिला का बच्ची का रेप कर दिया तो देयर इज ए प्रोसेस ऑफ राजीनामा। मतलब पुलिस को भी ये लगता है कि ये इंसिडेंट रेप एक नॉर्मल रूटीन का केस है और ये आपस में इनका राजीनामा हो जाएगा। तो हमारी सिविल सोसाइटी को इस राजीनामा वाली प्रवृत्ति से बाहर आना पड़ेगा। और एक मैडम ने बहुत अच्छी बात कही कि हमारे संसद में बहुत ऐसे जनप्रतिनिधि हैं जिनके रेप का चार्ज होता है और हमारे बीच से निकल के जाते हैं। तो ये भी हमारे लिए बहुत एक अलार्मिंग है कि क्या हम ऐसे लोगों को संसद में भेज के और उनसे हम न्याय की उम्मीद रखते हैं। और 8 समीकरण पूरे देश में है, रिपोर्टेड केस हैं, जो रिपोर्टेड नहीं है उनके तह में जाएंगे, तो ये बिल्कुल सही बात है। और जहां तक पुलिस की बात है, पुलिस के लिए एक रूटीन मैटर होता है और आज के समय में पुलिस को बिल्कुल कह सकते हैं कि जांच प्रक्रिया में कहीं ना कहीं हमको इसको सेंसिटाइज करना पड़ेगा। इस रेप को हमको सबसे टॉप प्रायोरिटी पर रखना पड़ेगा और एक मैकेनिज्म डेवलप करना पड़ेगा कि कहीं भी अगर रेप हो रहा है, किसी भी इलाके में हो रहा है, तो उसको टॉप प्रायोरिटी पुलिस देगी और इन्वेस्टिगेशन का प्रोसेस जो है इतना फास्ट होगा कि जो भी पीड़ित है उसको ये उम्मीद होगी कि विद इन 3 days 5 days में किस कंक्लूजन पे हम पहुंच पाएंगे।
All right, so yes, that sort of trust or the confidence in the police needs to be there. Arfa, so to you this question regarding how caste plays a big factor in these areas, in rural areas, especially in women trying to get justice from the police, and the way the police treat those women or handle the situation. Just now another case has emerged from Unnao in which a woman went to the police claiming that some men had attempted to rape her, and she was told, well, you weren't raped, were you? So when you get raped, then come back to us. So this sort of callousness of the police.
Surely, Gargi, and it's a very important aspect. I know it's an inconvenient truth. A lot of people do not want to talk about the caste and religion of our bureaucrats, judiciary. When caste and religion, these practices are practiced very much in our society. And look at the bureaucracy. It's full of people from a particular caste groups. So that is why people
right, but here
caste
we're not even
also
going
class
into
the
the higher
social
bureaucracy
status.
or the judiciary. Here we're talking about right at the lowest level, the
even
cops
police,
at the thana.
yes.
In the villages,
So,
they're very
even then,
the way they handle the cases. Yes, go ahead.
Right, Gargi, even there, people from upper caste background who have been socially and politically always dominant in society, they still have that capital. Look at even people, even despite reservation, you will see even in lower police forces, even lower judiciary, lower bureaucracy, there are people from upper caste groups who dominate our bureaucracy, who dominate judiciary, who dominate investigative agencies. So when you have such a scenario, there is going to be a fallout of this, which will be borne by people from lower caste groups, Dalit groups, Adivasis, and that is why you see when there is a woman who belongs to the middle class background and supposedly of upper caste, there is more noise than Dalit women being burnt alive in villages, small towns. We don't really get to hear this, and I'm sorry to say that if this whole Hyderabad thing has not had happened, and if we did not have these emotionally charged people out on the street, maybe Unnao would not have got so much of prominence as it getting today. So I'm really happy. Yeah, so I'm really happy. I'm sad and happy both at the same time that these things are being amplified, getting prominence, and at least we are talking about caste of the rapist and the rape victims.
All right. Well, Arpita Datta, as a young member of the NSUI and somebody who's perhaps aiming, for a larger role in politics, don't you think it's incumbent on our political parties to ensure that there are no rapists or people accused of sexual, any sort of sexual misdemeanor among them?
Yes, absolutely. We need to ensure that we do not have rapists or criminals sitting in the parliament making policies and decisions on behalf of the people. I think the burden now falls...
But then the vote bank issue always becomes a big factor, and even I wouldn't be surprised, Kuldeep Sengar, he has a sizable support in that constituency despite all the charges against him.
Absolutely. That's what I was about to say, that the burden now falls on the people. It falls upon various organizations beyond politics to educate people, to make them aware that, it's not okay for politicians to be criminals or rapists and make decisions for them. It is high time that, NGOs or be it other social organizations and even the higher authority of political parties to come up and make such decisions. And another important factor that I would want to bring here is that, we women want policies to be made for women, not just by men. We want policies to be made for women by women as well. Yeah, which is why we need more representation of women in positions of power. So that they can speak about the issues that are going on, rather than having criminals and rapists in the parliament.
All right, we're also now joined by Mahamedha Nagar, the national co-convener of the ABVP, and we were just talking about having people accused of crimes against women in parliament right now as MLAs, and your opinion on this, that it's incumbent on parties to ensure such people do not get tickets.
Definitely, it's a huge responsibility that lays on shoulders of all the political parties, not just the ruling or any other state government. I say it should be everybody's responsibility, and equally the audience, the voters should be equally responsible of electing the right people to represent them.
All right, but again, it comes back to that vote bank politics, and often we see that, those are the concerns that take over issues of women's safety. Final word, Arfa, you've spoken about how this is another moment and we shouldn't lose this momentum and keep the spotlight on this issue of, protection of women, security of women, and not let it slide again. It's been 7 years since Nirbhaya. A lot was said, laws were changed, but now we really need to walk the talk and ensure that, at the lowest level, at the police level also, women are assured that safety.
Gargi, certainly, and I'm saying there have been enough efforts of dividing women on the grounds of religion, region, caste, and other grounds. So I would say that women have to stand with each other. We need to have each other's back, despite the fact whichever background we may belong to, and we have to make sure,
whatever your politics
we have to make sure that we are the top priority on politicians' agenda, and next time when we vote, we make sure we have our own manifesto, we have our own agenda, that whenever an accused, rape accused is given a ticket by a particular political party, we should not vote not just for that candidate, but for the entire political party, for all their candidates.
All right. Well, on that note, I'm going to have to end the show. We're completely out of time. But thank you all for joining us this evening, and thank you for watching at home. Good night.